to share with you today the lightest solution I have found for backpacking for fishing. And this is the Tenkara rod. They come in many shapes and sizes as far as lengths and handles and the actual rod and the deployable rod. I have the Sierra from Tenkara Rod Company. That's what I've been using, and I've caught anywhere from small pan fryers to up to 16, 17-inch fish with it. And it seems to handle like a 1 pound fish. I don't know how this would do on like a big river lunker. Never tried one. But for alpine fishing where I go backpacking, this thing has been a charm. I just used this on the Uinta Highline Trail. It served me really well out there. I caught everything from pan fryers to 16-inch fish at Lambert Lake. It's super, super lightweight. It has a combo line on it that Tenkara Rod Company does, where it's part fly line, part frilled line. So, and then I have my tippet, obviously, and the attachments there. And I'll go ahead and deploy this and show this to you how it deploys. And I'll explain to you the features about it that I really, really like. Okay, so obviously have the line wound up first. I'm going to go ahead and unwind the line. Okay, and once you've got the line unwound, it has a little cork topper in the top, and you just go ahead and take this off. I always put this in my pocket so I don't lose it. And then this is an extendable rod, so you just pull it out like this. And I just go through each little end, make sure it's tight, so all the ends are out. The one thing I would caution is the very end piece. It's very, very thin and fragile, so I always work on it down here by the joint. I do not touch this up here unless I have to tie a line on, of course. But as far as erecting the rod, I just touch it right here because it is very flimsy. I would not want to test the tensile strength of this end of the rod. Okay, and much like my 9-foot 6-weight that you've seen me use in many of my videos to catch fish, this has a nice cork handle on it. And how you handle a Tenkara rod is much different because there's obviously no reel here. So it's not going to be feeding the line. The line is fixed on the end of the rod, so it's about directing the line. And so I hold the line with my finger like this, and this is how I ride. So I let my palm go into the depression of the rod, and I use my finger, and this allows me to direct the line however I want, whatever direction I want. And that way, if I'm trying to hit a spot specifically, then I can go ahead and do that with this, with my finger like this on the line. And that's what I've seen most of the people that fish Tenkara, folks that I follow on Instagram in Japan, and how they fish with the Tenkara. And using this method has been really successful with me landing fish. Okay, for my highline trip, I just carried this in its neoprene sleeve. It just has a sleeve that protects it. You just put it in, zip it shut like that, and there you go. It's ready to go. They do give you a tube that it comes in, this tube right here, for if you're bushwhacking. If I was going to go somewhere and off-trail it and try to bushwhack and go through tight vegetation and stuff where something could take damage, then I would definitely put it in its tube. But this thing's pretty awesome too, really lightweight. My entire setup on the Highline, both rod and gear, was 6.1 ounces. 3 out of the 5 lakes that I fished on the Highline, I caught fish at, and I had 2 fish dinners out there for less than half a pound of weight. So if you're on a through route, through hike, you're just wandering long distance and there's fishing, this is a really great option to have. Without having to carry the weight. And it was so simple. I never had a rat's nest with the line, never got anything hung up in a tree. Really easy to cast and direct because you're dealing with a much shorter line because it's a fixed line at the end of the rod. It's not like you're casting line out with a fly rod and using both hands. Just kind of made fishing really simple. And something as a backpacker that's been doing this for over 20 years, completely recommend this setup. So you should definitely check it out. The Tenkara Rod Company, this is the Sierra rod. Scale down your fishing kit to this. That's my fishing kit's 3 ounces. Flies, tippet, floating. I have a line in there if I wanted to keep one, and then I've got my clips for the line. That's it. So my entire setup for the Highline was 6.1 ounces. So anyways, just wanted to share that with you. This is the first gear review for my Highline trip. This is the fishing setup that I used on the Highline. Okay, just a heads up with this setup. I have not used this with a submerged fly. I've only dry flied with this, so I don't know if this would work with a submerged fly. So just want to put that preface out there that I only dry flied with this, but was very successful with dry flies. So you would have to experiment with it. I'm not sure how a furled line would work going underneath the water. I'm sure probably just the same. I've just never done it, so I don't want to vouch for that. If any of you have any sort of information on that, put it in the comments below on whether you've gone underneath with a Tenkara and had any success. Okay, and that was my fishing setup. Just wanted to go over an ultralight setup for backpacking that you can use for fishing. So if you're at those waters and you're seeing them jump, pull this guy out, toss a line, you'll be dry flying all the way. Take care. Talk to you on the next one.